Welcome everyone to the Comic Review. My name is Eric. Today we're going to be catching up with DC's new buddy cop team in Green Lanterns #1. That's right, if you guys tuned into my review on Green Lanterns Rebirth #1, or if you read the issue for yourself, then you know that there is a new buddy cop team in the DC Universe in Sector 2814. That is Simon Baz and Jessica Cruz. Both of these characters are creations of Geoff Johns. Simon was introduced, I believe, in Green Lantern #0, which was an issue that came out between Green Lantern #12 and 13 back in about 2012. Jessica Cruz was a character introduced after Forever Evil. She inherited the Ring of Power ring from the Crime Syndicate and was granted a Green Lantern ring at the end of the Darkseid War storyline, I believe in Justice League #50. So Jessica's very new to being a Green Lantern. Simon has some experience outside of a small stint with the Justice League of America, as well as some experience dealing with the New Gods during one of the more recent Green Lantern crossovers. He doesn't have as much experience, but it makes a good dynamic for this book to see two rookie Green Lanterns and having them try to figure out the vastness of enemies coming at them from space. So as we get into this book, we start out with a little introduction to the Green Lantern Corps, as well as the Blackest Night and the rise of the Green Lanterns, apparently, because that occurred after the Blackest Night. Who knew? We then get right into the action in Arizona. They're both flying in to deal with an unauthorized alien on Earth. Don't know what, if you look at all the other books with aliens and whatnot, I don't know what classified as a unauthorized alien, but whatever. They get to this small farmhouse in Arizona, bust through the wall to figure out what is going on with this alien, and they actually find a human who starts trying to attack them with a shotgun. You know, shotgun versus Green Lantern ring. That's up to you who you think would win that one. You notice with this guy with his shirt that he actually has the symbol of a red lantern on it. He also refers to a blue woman owing him a power ring for keeping the tower secret or keeping the tower protected. So there's a little bit, from the Rebirth issue, there's a little bit of foreshadowing to something going on involving the Red Lanterns in this book. Simon and Jessica are able to stop this crazed junkie from doing any more harm to them, but they do find that there is a dead alien pinned up to the wall, almost like he was crucified. But you also see a mass grave in the farmhouse as well, of various aliens and humans and whatnot, indicating to them that something horribly wrong is going on in this farmhouse. Simon and Jessica call in the police. We get then a scene of townsfolk around the area trying to figure out what's going on, trying to figure out what happened to their loved ones. Some of them are starting to get a little bit more ragey. Their eyes are starting to glow, very similar to the way the Rage Junkie started acting while Jessica and Simon were fighting him. Then they also hear this noise in the background that's kind of an ear-piercing noise. This giant tower ends up popping up, exploding out of the ground. We have no idea what's going on with it, but we do know it has something to do with the Red Lanterns, or Simon and Jessica. More to the point, don't know what's going on with this thing. We then get to a scene with Atrocious. Now, Atrocious we haven't seen, I want to say, since somewhere around the Red Lantern Annual, somewhere around Red Lanterns #31, 32, sometime prior to the Convergence storyline. Yeah, apparently Atrocious is back. He's now taking back command of the Red Lanterns, which makes a little bit of sense, seeing as how Guy Gardner hasn't been around. He's been hanging out with the Lost Lanterns out and God knows where they are. Hopefully Hal will find them soon, but who knows. But yes, this is, again, the return of Atrocious and the Red Lanterns. I believe their series ended at #40, so it's been a good year since we've seen a proper Red Lantern in the DC Universe. Atrocious is talking to Bleez, who we're led to believe is the blue woman that offered the Rage Junkie a power ring, possibly. He's actually got her by the throat, basically giving us all the exposition that we need regarding what is going on. Basically, what this thing is that popped up in the middle of Arizona is a hell tower. For whatever reason, due to events probably in Red Lanterns before Convergence, the Red Lantern power source is fading out with, I guess, the death of the Butcher. And Atrocious is wanting to use the hell tower to reinvigorate the Red Lantern Corps, basically saying that the Red Lanterns are all dying off because of their connection to the Rage is diminished. Atrocious sends Bleez back to Earth to defend the tower, basically stating that the Red Dawn is coming. So basically this is the third part, supposedly, to the prophecy of the Blackest Night, the Brightest Day, and now we have the Red Dawn. So it's going to be very interesting to see what exactly this plan of Atrocious is, what he's planning on doing with these towers, how he's going to affect the Earth with, I guess, bringing the Red Lanterns back. We don't really get any more of that. We get over to some scenes with Jessica Cruz and Simon Baz. They're actually with their separate families. Jessica's more exploring a grocery store because her anxieties, she's talking to her sister about all of her anxieties going outside. She's been portrayed in the past as a shut-in who spent the last 3 years in her home, basically trying to get over her own anxieties. She's talking about the fact that she, her skin's crawling, heart rate's racing, and everything like that. So she's trying to fight back having a nervous breakdown, I guess, in the middle of the grocery store while shopping with her sister. She gets an indication that somewhere in the area that there is rage levels spiking in the area, probably having to do with the Hell Tower. We get switched over to Simon Baz, who is with family, talking about all the issues going on with Amanda Waller dropping charges against him for terrorism and whatnot. For whatever reason, though, he suddenly, his eyes start glowing. He apparently is given the gift of Emerald Sight, which apparently gives him the ability to, I don't know if he can see into the past or future, but it's allowing him to see different things going on. He does get a vision of himself lying on the floor. He gets a vision of another Guardian creating a new ring, some humans affected by rage appearing. I believe he also sees Atrocious, and he also sees that currently Jessica is in trouble. He then gets an indication from his ring that the rage levels are increasing, when we also see Jessica in the middle of the grocery store with her Green Lantern uniform on now, but being attacked by basically everybody in the grocery store. We then get back over to Atrocious, who is, I guess, kind of seeing through the blood or whatever these events transpiring on Earth with two different lanterns, and kind of gives a prophetic vision of the fact that one of the two lanterns is going to serve him, the other one is going to possibly die when the Red Dawn occurs. So it's a little bit of foreshadowing they're trying to put in here, that there may be a possible death and or turn for one of the Green Lanterns. So it's going to be interesting to see what goes on with that. As of right now, I'm not sure which of the two lanterns they're going to use to be the one that turns on the other. Safe money would probably end up being Simon, although it would probably be more surprising if it was Jessica who turned on Simon, actually enjoying the Red Lanterns. I have to say that as far as the first issue goes, it actually does a pretty good job of introducing both of the characters. We get a little bit of insight into Jessica's past as well as her emotional state right now, as well as with Simon, getting into his character and the fact that he has had problems with law enforcement in the past and everything. Also, we get a reintroduction of Atrocious. To me, a little bit more of a sinister version than we have had in recent times. I think that probably is one of the issues I had with the original Red Lanterns series, is that even when you're writing a book sometimes for a villain or a villainous group, or a group that's seemingly villainous, you have to try to show humanity for them a little bit, because of the fact that you want some redeeming qualities that readers are going to come back to month after month after month. So this version of Atrocious seems a lot more sinister than the one we got for the majority of the run on the New 52. As far as the plot line of what's going on, I mean, this big giant Hell Tower just pops up in the middle of Arizona. Yes, Argus does. I think I forgot to mention that before, but Argus does come in and basically takes over the scene and threatens Simon with basically threatens him with Amanda Waller if he doesn't cooperate. So I feel like that part of it, the fact that they're not immediately dealing with the Hell Tower, is a little bit forced. It kind of goes back to my whole thing with decompressed storytelling and having to write stuff for the trade. Is that I'm really hoping, I mean, as of this recording, I've actually read the second issue and we'll be doing a video on it as soon as I'm done with this one. But I feel like the whole aspect of like, oh, now these lanterns have to go away for a little while while we do some other stuff with the Hell Tower and then have them come back. I feel like it's one of those things that you could probably have taken some of those scenes out of there, made the story a little bit shorter, so that it doesn't feel like this whole thing with the Hell Tower is going to keep dragging and dragging and dragging and dragging. That's what's true with any decompressed storytelling that we have nowadays. Is in some cases it is justified to have a storyline last 4 to 6 issues, but in other cases it's, I'm not sure if this story here is going to benefit from that more so, but we'll see how things go in the second issue when I go over that later. So I'm curious to see what you guys think of this issue. Or do you like how the Simon and Jessica were reintroduced into the book, even though they've both been in a series before this? Do you like this more possibly sinister version of Atrocious that we have showing up, wanting to transform Earth into some kind of a beacon for the Red Lanterns? Let me know what you guys thought about this issue, as well as any other thoughts you have in the comments below. And I'd like to thank you guys for tuning into this edition of the Comic Review. If you would like to go ahead and like this video and subscribe to the channel, we do come out with new reviews on various series from both the major publishers every week. And that's it for me, so I will see you guys in the next review. Later.